I've been using the Huawei P60 Pro for almost 2 months now, and probably the main reason why I like this phone is its camera system that is ranked #1 in the world by DXOMARK. Well, not everyone cares about the rankings, but the optics on this phone are pretty amazing. The P60 Pro's camera setup consists of a 13 megapixels ultra-wide angle, 48 megapixels wide or the main lens, and another 48 megapixels telephoto shooter with 3.5 times optical zoom. On the front, there is a 13 megapixels selfie camera. One of the highlights, the primary camera has a variable aperture lens that changes automatically from f1.4 to f4 depending on the lighting and shooting scenario. We can also adjust the aperture manually using the Pro mode in both photo and video modes, which takes us one step closer to having the professional lens in a compact package. Open up the aperture to its widest f1.4 point manually and you will get images with a very nice blurry background. Well, most people use the auto mode, so let's talk about it. The combination of hardware and Huawei's image processing provides one of the best looking shots you can get on a phone. I'm very impressed with the level of detail, sharpness, dynamic range, and very accurate color reproduction. I prefer the original shooting style, but you can also choose from vivid and bright. For instance, the Vivid mode makes the P60 Pro the only smartphone I've tested to accurately depict the fluorescent color of my e-bike. Other phones process it as an orange color, which is not accurate. The main camera produces amazing night photos too. The photos are incredibly detailed and clean, and these are probably the best low-light shots I've seen on a phone. A 48 megapixels telephoto sensor is no slouch either. It produces great quality 3.5 times zoom daylight images, and its bright f2.1 aperture shines in low light. Again, these are one of the best looking shots taken with the smartphone's telephoto camera. Macro cameras on phones usually suck, but the P60 Pro has a telephoto super macro mode that allows you to take incredible quality macro shots from a distance. For reference, here is an image taken with the ultra-wide angle lens. I can take incredibly sharp macro pictures using 3.5 times or 10 times zoom without getting closer to the bike. This is pretty amazing, and I never thought that I would start taking this many macro shots with any phone. The P60 Pro might be the best phone for effortless high-quality macro pictures. I also like the ultra-wide angle camera. The images are nice and sharp, and ironically, selfie pictures are even too sharp. They show every imperfection of my skin. I also like portrait mode, which produces images with accurate skin tones and excellent edge detection. Social media ready out of the box. What I don't like, 10 times zoom shots look pretty good, but you can clearly see this is digital zoom. On the other hand, most photos are definitely usable. 4K 60 FPS is the maximum video recording resolution. While this is not the sharpest footage I've seen, the overall quality is pretty good and the video is stable and smooth. 4K 60 FPS selfie video quality is pretty good. As for sound recording quality, hear it yourself. This is 4K 60 FPS video test using the selfie camera of the Huawei P60 Pro. The P60 Pro is not all about the cameras. It has a nice IP68 certified design, this Rococo Pearl backplate looks unique, and the build quality is excellent. The 6.67-inch LTPO OLED 120Hz display is very nice and it's easily viewable outdoors. It is also covered with a Kunlun glass, which is said to be 10 times stronger than regular glass, which is a bold claim if you ask me, but at least we know that the display is durable. Other key features, the dual speakers are nice and loud, the under-the-screen fingerprint reader is fast and accurate, and there is an IR blaster. On the inside, the phone has a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which is last year's chipset, but it is still capable of handling even the most demanding tasks. The Emui 13 feels fast and smooth, and you get the usual Huawei's features and customization options. For reference, my unit has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. The elephant in the room, the lack of Google Play services. I'm sure you've heard this before, but long story short, you have two options. Either use the Huawei's app gallery, which now allows you to install pretty much every app directly or from third-party sources. Another option, simply install Google services and apps using GSpace or Gbox and you can get any app from the Google Play Store. The 4815 mAh battery supports 88 watts wired and 50 watts wireless charging, and it keeps the lights on for a long time. I could easily get 1.5 and sometimes even more than 2 days of battery life depending on usage scenario. The lack of 5G might contribute to a longer battery life, but it's definitely a shortcoming for a flagship device. All things considered, the Huawei P60 Pro is one of the best camera-centric phones that's also super solid in other departments: design, display, performance, and battery life. The only flaws I could mention include last year's Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, 4K video could be more detailed, there is no 5G, and last but not least, there are no native Google apps and services, but you can install them yourself pretty easily or use the ever-growing Huawei app gallery. At the end of the day, if you can live with these shortcomings, the Huawei P60 Pro is one of the best camera-centric devices which has some unique features that other phones lack. Just be ready to shell out over 1000 euros, just like for every other major flagship phone. What do you think about the Huawei P60 Pro? Would you buy this device or would you choose another camera-centric phone? As always, like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, it was Linus, thank you for watching and see you soon.